Bryce Drew holds court on a campus of distinction.
We're the world's largest Christian university. That doesn't happen without God's hand and blessing.
Previously leading 2 different schools to the NCAA tournament, Bryce made it 3 as Grand Canyon University's head basketball coach.
We want to be an extension of the school, implement faith into our players, play hard, and hopefully win a lot of games.
The 2-time conference champions have. For that same Bryce Drew that once hit that iconic game-winning shot, catapulting Valpo to a 1998 tournament upset while his dad and brother watched as coaches.
My momentum was carrying me forward, so by the time I landed, I was a lot closer to the three-point line. Just reacting, it was all like a blur how quick it happened. And if you look, the ball skims the front of the rim and skids in. And I was like, oh man, I really thought it was gonna be short, and it almost was.
25 years later, can you believe all that's happened?
No, I can't even get the ball that far now, so I'm glad it went in.
After 6 seasons as an NBA player and 11 as a college coach, Bryce merges the core of each together.
Are you by nature a builder?
I was really competitive as an athlete, and so my nature is just do it harder, do it more. Early in my coaching days, I kind of just had that approach on about everyone on the team. And now as I've gotten to coach a lot of different personalities, I think some people really respond to that, and then others probably need, a lot more encouragement. And a lot of now you have to answer why, why am I doing this, coach? And that's just become part of our coaching, so they know what's expected sooner than later.
Bryce, your heart to coach day in and day out. What is the one thing that you keep going back to?
Growing up a coach's kid and loving the game, I was always in the gym. Definitely the blueprint that my dad laid out years ago. Big job as a coach is the influence we're going to have on basketball players. Some people we can just go out and speak why we live the way we do, and others it's an example. From a faith perspective, it's from a character perspective. They'll look back, 20, 30 years and be like, man, that really changed my life.
Most common pressing need those incoming freshmen have?
Most of the young men on our team, they want to be able to trust us as coaches and trust us as men, and that doesn't happen overnight. It's something that we have to earn on a year-to-year basis. You can build trust for a lifetime and you can lose it in one moment, and so for us as coaches is to build that trust, but then even harder, to keep that trust.
What is required more from you now as a head coach that you didn't have to bring 10 years ago?
And you have to have a great administration, willing to adapt. And then, assistant coaches, I think, are more valuable now than ever, just with building relationships with players, with the portal, being able to leave right away to a different school. It definitely changes a long-term perspective in a program, more to a short-term perspective. You're gonna get a lot of players that just coming for 1 year, coming for 2 years, and so a lot of that process with culture, team building, character building needs to be accelerated a little bit faster than the past.
How do you prevent the message from a Christian university that can quickly become obligated, stale, and instead fanning that to a group of individuals in need of some foundations in their life?
I'm a work in progress. How we present the gospel is a work in progress. I've tried to get better at that. And the Bible is how clever, Jesus was getting his message across. And sometimes it was through, the parables or time and place, I think is so important.
What's most important about learning how to lose in order to learn how to win? Is there a relationship there?
Yeah, as an athlete and as a coach, I've always learned way more through losing, unfortunately. Those losses have motivated me. It's painful and you hate it, but sometimes in my lowest sports moments, unbelievable moments have come from that. After you do experience the setbacks and the growing pains and then the improvement, it makes it that much more meaningful when you do get to reach your goals.
The performance of the demand and the pressure to win.
There's a lot of things, unfortunately, that you just can't control. It's always that balance of, okay, God, this is yours. You want to win and you want to be successful and you want your guys to enjoy their experience there and just what the sports world is, and it's something that you have to grow and learn to handle.
Does the competitor part of us conflict or complement the Christ within us?
I need to give my all at what I'm doing, And if it's to win a game, I give my all to try to win that game. I don't think you can be two different people. All of a sudden you're following Christ outside the lines and you're not following Christ inside the lines. Christ was very ambitious in getting his gospel out, but he never overstepped what God wants him to do today. I want to be able to win knowing that I'm staying true to the Lord and true to how I profess to live my life.
Do you have a tendency to apply the competitor in you in your devotion in following him?
As we all know, life is hard. There's so many challenges and things thrown at you. Just like a game, at times all the shots are going in and then all of a sudden they don't go in, their team makes it, and you gotta, rear up those competitive juices again. And I would say very similar to the Christian faith. It's easier to be a non-follower of Christ. It's much harder to be a follower of Christ. And at that point, we leave it in God's hands and just go out and perform, what he's blessed us to be able to do.